The following program is brought to you by Blood, Sweat, Tears, and listeners like you. To support this show and all of the shows within Twib Nation, consider becoming a subscriber of our pay service, The Twibularity, at twib.me/subscribe. That's twib.me/subscribe. Or you can give a one-time donation at donate.twib.me. That's donate.twib.me. We've all learned how important media is and who tells our stories. Help us be the media that you want to hear and that the media is afraid to hear. It's kind of hard to listen to yourself become irrelevant.
This is Twib Nation.
Today is Tuesday, February 28th, 2017, and on today's Twib Prime, did you know that HBCUs were actually founded because we just needed more choice in the black community? Yeah, that's what Betsy DeVos believes. And also, what do you do when your fave fails you? All of this and more with Team Blackness on today's Twib Prime.
So from now on, whenever you hear these horns, just know you are now entering the blackness. Collard greens, cornbread, and the catfish. Malcolm X and Dr. King with a black fist. We are live, son. This is blackness. You are now entering the blackness. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the classics. Real love, the opposite of ratchet. We are live, son. This is blackness.
What is going on, people? We are back. This is This Week in Blackness Prime. I am your host, Elon James White. With me, as per usual, is Team Blackness, consisting of, she's the host of Next Big Thing with Courtney and Dara. She is a consultant that will make you money for your shit. Hire her. We have Dara M. without the dot Wilson, madam who is not centered.
Hello.
Okay, just slide it on. Slide it on over.
I did.
No, but like your chair.
I mean,
you can't stay like that because you just look slant. You look like in a Michael Jackson video, Smooth Criminal. Like, just like exactly.
No, I will as soon as the camera gets off of me, I'll make all my adjustments.
I don't know what that meant, but okay. See, it's off you now. You don't have to worry about that. And also with us, she is the original SJW. She's beige, and I love her. My daughter. Want to say hi, Sid? Sid, say hi. Sid, Sydney, say something.
She can't stop looking at me.
Yeah. Really, Sid? Really? Before you couldn't even stop touching the microphone before. Like, I'm trying to give you your first Team Blackness intro, and now you're not even paying attention? God, child oh mine. Never mind. I ain't playing with this child.
She loves me so much.
No, because you're bright and colorful.
I've been called worse.
Okay.
Right with that.
And just in case you guys, I fade out of on the microphone. That's because my child has decided that at certain times she needs the microphone, and she just pulls it and throws it somewhere else. She goes like, "Nope, you don't need that, Daddy. Why do you? That's silly." Like this. See? Okay. All right. You don't want me on the microphone? Okay, that's cool. I'm taking it back. What now? Also, Brent's at the production table. What up, Brent?
Hey, how y'all doing out there?
Can I? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm inside the YouTube chat. I am inside the Actors Studio, which is where the YouTube chat exists. At blackness.live. And somebody says, "Wow, that's what Dara looks like." How come every single time someone sees me for the first time, they say, "Wow"? What does that mean? What do you think I look like?
Well, Dara, people, you're a striking woman. I have said this to you before, and you don't seem to believe me, and I can't. I'm not gonna do this with you. But the fact is, especially when people have never exactly, child, when people have never seen you before, especially today, you're extra bright and all natural and out and everything like that. Like just accept that people go wow. Accept that wow.
I don't know what kind of wow it is.
Accept it.
It could be like, wow, I thought you were Shrek.
So what if they thought you were Shrek?
And it turns out that you are regular colored.
What if you were Shrek? You don't know. People don't know.
Why would you assume anybody is Shrek?
I don't know. It can happen. Sid thinks everybody's Shrek.
No.
She's like, that's what I thought.
Sid knows my true self.
Well, she knows your whatchamacallit, your Amazon background, because she is one of your people. This child who is the size of a goddamn 2-year-old, and she's 10 months old. She's not even 10 months. I'm saying 10 months as a whatchamacallit, a shorthand, because she's actually 9 months and 28 days or 26 days or something like that. She'll be 10 months on March 5th. Mm-hmm. My God, she's almost a year old. What happened?
And you're still surviving.
She's still alive, which I would like to point out is a miracle. Like, that's
a miracle.
A miracle. A miracle on ice. I mean, like, I don't. And there's no ice here, so that's how much it's magic. And she's on the show today. She's trying to eat my finger. No finger. No. Do you want to? You see yourself on camera? Do you see yourself? Are you excited?
Oh my God! What have we become?
She's so crazy. And no. What was I gonna say? I had words, but then my baby got in my way. Oh, she's giant.
Are you talking about me or Sid? Oh,
well. Valid point on both places.
That's not a point. It was a misunderstanding.
Okay. I thought you were just saying, like, yes, we're both giants. Yes, you are, in fact, both giants. But yeah, no, she's a giant. And the reason why she is out here today on the show is because I don't want her to be fed to bears today. And that's what would happen. Because she has, like I said, this new stage where she can just sit up when she wants to. Naps? The fuck is a nap? Like, Sid, what's a nap? She don't know what naps are. She's like confused by this shit. And so she now just gets up and just like, I'm up. And she doesn't know how to get back down. She doesn't know how to put herself to sleep yet from standing position. So she just stands up and
she just stands up and she stays there.
And she likes that song. I set up a new playlist for her because the original Sid playlist was going to make us murder everyone involved. And so like I've been trying to come up with a new playlist, and all I do is when it's on the new playlist because she likes to put her hands up and let them stay there. And so I was like, hey, I'm gonna let you cook, child. I'm gonna let you roll cruise control. But yes, I could see it in her mother's eyes. She was just like, I don't know. I can't do this. And so I was like, if she can sit through the show, I will bring her on. Because I always said I would bring her on. But then she reached a point where she does this, where she just pulls at everything around. So like, I can't have like all the directing shit that I have as backup for the show. I can't touch none of the shit because she will touch it. And next thing you know, we'll just be like SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know.
What?
Like, I assume that's what she would turn the show to. She would like hitting buttons, and next thing you know, it would just be SpongeBob on the TV.
Okay.
What? Is that like an old reference for her?
Yes.
I mean, I have no clue what babies are watching. I don't know what's hot in the baby streets right now.
Peppa Pig.
Huh?
Peppa Pig.
The fuck is a Peppa Pig?
Peppa. Like salt and.
Like salt? Really? Like salt and. Like salt and.
It's P-E-P-P-A.
I believe
Peppa
you,
Pig.
but it's still hilarious.
Like salt and.
Like salt and. Yeah, no, I don't know anything about that. And the thing is that she's not supposed to be watching TV yet, really. Not to say she's not. She hasn't gotten some screen time because otherwise we would just die. We would just have to throw ourselves off a rooftop because just having a child that you can't look at anything else ever is a lot. I don't know if you know that. Oh well, parents do. And we just had to give some lines in the sand. Like, all right, fine. We might not. I don't put her in front of the TV just to chill. But if I'm watching TV, I'll just let the TV be. I can't cut it off. Oops.
Ooh, Elon, what's the name of that show you made me and Emily watch before?
Waste Management. No, Wasted.
Wasted,
yes.
Such a good show. I don't think we ever talked about it.
Oh no, we didn't. We got to get a We Nerd Hard on the books because there's a bunch of TV that we need to go through. And yeah, I got Emily and Dara to sit and watch the show I was checking out. It's a BBC show called Wasted. That the way I describe it, it's like, well, not like that. Much closer. That's much closer. Yeah, it's more like It's like a combination of like Skins and with a sense of with a Shaun of the Dead sensibility. Yeah, you mad? You mad?
She wants me. This is what people sound like when they want me. I know you're not familiar, but that's what it sounds like.
I mean, I don't know a lot of the people who want you. I've only met one, and I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Do this. This is not a thing that you should do.
I'm not going to do it. I was just saying that I met one person who I know, in fact, wanted you, and I had words.
Don't worry. He came to his senses.
Did he come to his senses, or did you come to your senses?
I think it was a mutual sense coming to. Or not, as the case may be.
It was so sad. Every time I would talk to Dara, I'd have to just calmly not throw shade at this dude, because they weren't dating really. They were dating, but they were. I don't know what was happening.
Really? For real?
No, I'm not gonna do it. We do this Monday through Thursday.
Yeah. And it's got nothing to do with whether or not we were dating.
I don't know what that was. But and the best part, no one knows what. Even if he was watching this right now, he wouldn't know. Right? I
don't know.
He wouldn't know.
He might. It's not like there's so many to choose from.
You got hoes in different area codes, Dara.
Two maybe.
You're like 510.
That's it.
484.
I don't even.
Not even.
I don't even know things.
Okay, that's Philly.
No, it's not.
484.
215.
And 484.
690.
And 484.
I don't know.
Okay. So you're just saying words? Numbers?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wow. This is This Week in Area Codes, and we're going to get to the bottom of 484.
This Week in Dara's Hose. Is what it is.
That would be a short-lived show. Or it would just be me with spider webs all around me and spider webs all over the phone going, still waiting for your calls, guys.
Dara, I swear to God, I will produce that show.
No, you will not.
Dara's Hose. I imagine it's like Hogan's Heroes. Dara's Hose.
It's like Hogan's Heroes because they never get out?
I actually have never seen Hogan's Heroes. It just sounded similar. We do this Monday. Brent, have you seen Hogan's Heroes?
It's been a really long time.
Okay. I've never seen it. I just referenced it because I've heard it before and it just sounded similar. That's it. That's all I got, Dara. That's all I got.
Hogan's Heroes is a great show.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
My dad watches every time you come into the house. Every time there's an episode on, every single television in the house reminds you that Hogan's Heroes is starting.
Oh dear, that's a lot.
It is.
My grandfather used to be. He didn't like a show like that, but he just liked anything that was cowboy. And so we were just to the house, and all of a sudden there's some cowboy shit. God forbid John Wayne was on something. My grandfather was John Wayne and the shit out of stuff.
Both of my parents were super into cowboy things. I think the first time I watched a cowboy thing was because, I don't know if he's going to be happy about me for saying this, but my father overdosed me on cough medicine. So I started
CPS.
I started to hallucinate. I was probably 3 or 4 at the time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I woke up and I looked down at the other end of my bed, and my little doll, my favorite doll, she had a giant monster coming out of her head, and it looked like stack poop that was moving like a snake charm.
What was the odds of that?
I don't know. But I think what had happened was, this was Sunday night, and that Sunday there had been a lot of football on, and so he lost count of the number of hours in between when I should be taking the medicine, and so I got real high.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then my mom was like, "Guess what? Guess who's staying up with her?"
Oh, that's real.
You are.
That's real. My wife, because the fact is that at the moment, I talked about it on the show before that she's had a couple of moments where it's all about not the mama. That's it.
Not the mama.
Not the mama. But then it's only been all together probably about 2.5 weeks, like 1 week here and a week and a half there. But now we back. We good. We road dogs now. And the thing is that see, she daddy. But the problem is really going to eat the bottom of the milk. You don't want to eat the front of the milk where there's milk there. You don't want that. Oh, you do want that? Okay. So she's just such a problem. So like I forgot what I was gonna say. This is the problem with children. Because I really
not the mama. Them. Y'all
right.
are cool again.
So we cool and shit, right? So like we can go out, we can do things, we can hang, we can play, all this other stuff, whatever. But she still likes my wife because like, oh, that's mama. That's still mama. Mm-hmm. I like you. I'm not mad at you anymore, but that's still mommy, and I can respect that, right? The problem is that on occasion, my wife will walk in when I'm dealing with her, and she'll be like, "Oh, mommy magic." And the baby's like, all excited. And then mommy walks away and she goes,
Oh my God, the face she's giving you. No, cut back. Oh, it's too late. You started screaming and she looked at you like, what's your problem?
Because she does that. And she'll just like flip out. And my wife, and I told her flat out, because my wife's done this to me a couple times when she needs like a break and like in the work day. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get her and I'll play with her and I'll keep her like calm so that you can do some work. But like I need her calm while I work. And my wife will walk in and just get her all hyped. And she's like, And then when she walks out, I'm like, you do that shit. It's your baby, not our baby. It's your baby. Do not rile her up. And I won't do the thing either because, like, that's why I don't fuck with her when she's eating. Because if I walk in the room while she's eating, she will lose her shit and start slamming things or whatever like that and get excited. So we can't do that. So that's just parenting. You have to, like, there to be a deal. We are not. I have a hyped up child, and then I have to stay up. We do this Monday through Thursday. We have a docket full of shenanigans, tomfoolery, and what have you. But we have a couple of reminders. Phone lines will be open this episode, 718-404-9320. If you would like to be alerted when we are going live, you can get a text message from us. What? You can get a text message from us. All you got to do is text TWIB, T-W-I-B. Text TWIB to 54900, and then you'll get our text blast when we go live. And that you'll be a part of this magic stuff. I mean, like, otherwise, how would you know? How would you get to see this thing? How would you enjoy all this magic? What? I give no fucks, child. I give no fucks. And neither does she. She's like news professional my ass. You're gonna be a dad professional right now, motherfucker.
The old lady
and
face.
You're gonna put your shoes, you're gonna put your feet on my what are you, Kellyanne Conway? What are you doing?
Come on.
Just disrespecting my studio?
There is nothing she has done that warrants, and I know it's been a difficult time. She has done nothing to warrant the moniker of Kellyanne Conway. That's just not fair.
Just disrespecting my studio. You know what I mean? But yeah, remember, so you can text. Phone lines will be open, 718-404-9320. Also, remember, you can always to give a little love to Twib Nation if you use Amazon to shop. Go to amazon.twib.me. Go to amazon.twib.me, and once you do that, just shop. You don't have to do anything else. Our little code is in there, and you'll be able to shop, and we get a little bit of referral. That's great. And also go to support.twib.today. Is that it, Dara?
Support.twib.me.
So support.twib.me. There you go. Dara got on top of her shit. Or twib.me/subscribe. It's one of those.
Both of those.
What? Do that. You can buy fucks for the team. You can get a subscription, all that good stuff. Magic shall ensue. All right, Dara. Where do you want to start with this today? We got a couple of things that we can hit, but where do you want to start it?
I want to start with your friend.
I don't have a friend, unless you're counting Jesus. Because we always have a friend in Jesus, Dara.
I'm sorry, the full of shitness actually startled me.
You weren't prepared for that?
It was not. Betsy DeVos.
Oh, see, okay. See, you gonna get cut. You calling her my friend.
She's your best friend.
She's not my best friend. Davros needs to be stopped at all costs.
So I know you know about this and have feelings about it. There's this image going around, you referenced it, Kellyanne Conway in the Oval Office with her feet under her, sitting on a couch, which I actually cannot get exorcised about. It's not something that makes me very angry, but I know a lot of people are upset about how disrespectful it seems. And around her, are a number of Black men who are the leaders of some historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs. After this meeting, our new Secretary of Education put out around
the same time, even possibly
a notice. It's the title says following listening session. Okay.
Well, I have so many words, but like, keep on keeping on.
I just would like to read an excerpt. An excerpt. A key priority for this administration is to help develop opportunities for communities that are often the most underserved. Sure. Rather than focus solely on funding, we must be willing to make the tangible, structural reforms that will allow students to reach their full potential.
Well, thank God.
Yeah. And where do HBCUs come in? Historically, Black colleges and universities have done this since their founding. They started from the fact that there were too many students in America who did not have equal access to education. They saw that the system wasn't working, that there was an absence of opportunity, so they took it upon themselves to provide the solution. HBCUs are real pioneers when it comes to school choice. And I'm not going to read anymore because I'm about to start breathing fire.
Why? Why would you possibly breathe fire, Dara? I mean, I don't understand. HBCUs are clearly the leaders of choice. I mean, when I think about the need for choice, I think HBCUs. I don't know why you're fighting this, Dara. Like, what is the problem with such a thing?
There is no such thing as choice when there was no choice. It wasn't choice. It was necessity. They were built out of Jim Crow. It wasn't a choice. There was not a lack of opportunity. There was zero opportunity. They weren't allowed in the schools, Elon.
I mean, you say not allowed in the schools. We say unequal opportunities.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
No? That's not how that works?
No.
I was hoping that is how that works.
No, I don't think that is how that works.
But she is the Secretary of Education, Dara. Are you saying that she's getting it wrong? I'm confused by your words, Dara. It doesn't make, you're not making sense here is what I'm saying.
As overly qualified as she and the rest of her compatriots in the Trump administration are, I do have to say that she got this wrong.
Wrong or
incredibly offensively wrong?
I mean, it can, but
because I could go for either one.
Well, give me the pluses and minuses for both.
I don't want to do that. That feels like a lot of time and energy and effort. I just want to say it's horribly, horribly wrong. And I know you have some words, and I want to hear from you, because what I saw and all I knew was all these people decided that they needed to go to the White House. I don't think if I were in that same position, I would have made that choice. But there are people who say that they were bombarded and surprised by what ended up happening. What do you think about that?
So, if I understand correctly, because I was one of the people who commented on the fact that once I saw the picture, and I believe the picture. Hold on, I think we have it. Keep going. This picture here is, and that's where I mean, there's a couple of different images of it, but this is the picture of basically many of the HBCU presidents there. Kelly and Conway on the couch with the shoes and everything. So I'll say, so the first. Let me deal with the first part. The Kellyanne Conway Twitty. I also wasn't that pressed about Kellyanne doing this, because I believe that the fact is, I believe a lot worse has happened inside the that Oval Office with Trump there. Just real talk. I just don't. I don't buy that this is the worst thing that ever happened. And the fact is that, like, with him in the office, I mean, there's just not a lot of respect for it in the first place. So if you want to put his shoes up, whatever. I believe a lot of people, there was a couple different angles on this. One, it was the cultural aspect of it. Culturally speaking, amongst black folks, you don't put your shoes on no damn couch. You ain't sitting there. Like, the idea, I can't imagine doing this at my grandparents' house at any age. Like my mama would have came for me, and so culturally speaking, that's just like considered disrespectful. You'll be doing that on people's couches and stuff like that. That's not how
I wouldn't do that on my own couch. I wouldn't do that on my own. Like, if somebody came into my home and put their feet on my couch, I would have to call into question what relationship we had that made me think I should have them in my house.
Right. So that's one thing. Like I said, I didn't care, but the fact is that, like, Barack Obama got a shit ton of slack for when he put his feet up on the desk. And they were like, "Oh, you put your feet on the desk. You disrespected the White House." So I feel like a lot of people were like, "Seriously?" So the president puts his feet up on his desk. That's considered unacceptable. Kellyanne Conway got her shoes on couches and shit, but that's cool, and people were not too pleased about that. So I understand that. Really, child? Can you work with daddy just a little bit? Thank you. So yeah, I get that. So that's what it was. That wasn't what I was pressed about, and I didn't really weigh in that heavy on that aspect of things. But the image itself, right? So the image of these folks all together on the stage, it's not on stage, in the Oval Office. This was striking to me because these were HBCU presidents, and they're there, and the other picture. There's a picture where Trump is really just cheesing his whole ass off, and I was like, I don't know what in the world would happen that I would allow myself to be used in this way, because that's the way I look at this. Because Trump can talk about how he's doing great things with black folks, blah, 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 with photo ops like this. This is a thing that kind of leads to all of that. And I just like, no, you're not going to use me in that way. If you're going to give me money, whatever. But as it's been pointed out, I think we mentioned that there is going to be an HBCU executive order, which actually might have already dropped right now, Dara. I didn't check on that. Is it out?
I do believe so. I haven't taken a look at it just yet, but I think it is out.
Okay,
a couple hours ago.
Pull that. I think it was supposed to be at 2 p.m. Eastern. I think that it was supposed to drop. So people were coming out for that, but there was a letter that was released by I think his Twitter handle is Hip Hop Historian. I forgot his Twitter handle. Damn it. But it was one of the other people that was there, and he actually explained what happened. And once I heard the explanation, it made a lot more sense. What had happened was the HBCU presidents were invited to go meet with Devos and some other folks about and to talk to them about HBCUs, how they work, and all that other stuff. That was what they were supposed to be coming out there for. But then they all of a sudden, after they had already agreed, they were coming, all this stuff. Once they got out there, they were supposed to, everything changed. They got, instead of supposed to be given 2 minutes to talk, and then it was cut down to 1 minute, and then it was cut down to only 7 of them got to speak at all. And then this presidential picture, they weren't supposed to be at the Oval Office. It was supposed to be a listening session with Devos, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, never mind. We're going to we're going up to the Oval Office and do this thing. So they basically kind of got a little bit ambushed in a way. Because they thought they were going to explain like issues around the HBCUs, what they do, what help is necessary, and then all of a sudden they barely got to say anything. And so that particular HBCU president put out his what he was going to say in a letter, because basically he was pointing out that the cuts from Pell and shit like that's going to hurt HBCUs and students at HBCUs, and so that's kind of what led to this. But apparently Omarosa set this up. Which, who's shocked? Ask me who's shocked. Exactly. That look in your face, that's the look of someone who's not shocked. And you're not shocked either, right? Is that what you feel about Kellyanne Conway?
Omarosa out.
I'm sorry, Omarosa. I just default to shading Kellyanne Conway Twitty. So that was what was happening there, and I think it's really, really shitty that this happened. That's how this kind of played out.
It seems like what they were mostly focused on, what they said was this listening session was trying to, as you alluded to, impart the importance of funding specifically, not about their place in history and how great they are for the arguments for school choice and all that other BS.
Well, no, they weren't doing that school choice bullshit at all. They were just talking about the fact about, first of all, not to be funny, Devils probably needed a primer on HBCUs and how they work and the effect they have.
Well, obviously she still does.
And obviously she still
because
does.
She does not.
And so the idea that they ambushed them with this whole thing, and then after they ambushed them, she dropped this letter, which had she actually had the least listening talk with them, maybe she wouldn't have said some dumbass shit like HBCUs were pioneers of choice, because they weren't pioneers of choice. They were pioneers of actually educating our people at all, because we couldn't get educated otherwise.
They were pioneers of necessity. So it's not to say that they were not pioneers, but it has nothing to do with the choice that she's referring to.
Right.
And what I was going to say is the excuse that many of these leaders used was that they wanted to get an audience with the Trump administration in order to get orders for new funding. And one thing that is clear in this new executive order that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, also undoes Obama's executive order for HBCUs, is there is no funding mentioned. What? So it's there are no more funds.
But I heard that that Obama didn't really back HBCUs either. I thought that was one of the complaints that people had about Obama. I haven't done the research to be able to back that completely, but that's just what I've seen in conversations so far.
I believe that executive order was more about the restructuring of where the funding was coming from. It's been a really long time since I read the actual the text of it, but my only point here is that they had an aspirational funding goal that they had hoped to meet, and they did not get that at all. I don't know who from the administration led them to believe that they would nearly double federal support to HBCUs, which is what they said they were hoping for, but that's not something that happened.
I don't even know why. I mean, maybe Omarosa was writing checks to her asking trash.
I don't know.
Is that it?
I don't know. Perhaps so. But I am not surprised that they didn't get what they wanted from this administration.
But the best part about it is that, like, the whole idea that all of the articles about Trump might pass orders to help HBCUs flourish or whatever, like that was the article, and of course these are in right wing websites or whatever. The first thing that comes up is a Daily Caller saying Trump might pass EO to help HBCUs flourish.
Yeah, and so what happens is they publish that article, they publish no follow-ups, and the people who read that website say Trump cares about HBCUs, so black people shut up.
Right. I mean, I don't see anyone. No one seems to have written this up yet about the executive order.
There's an article on the Chronicle of Higher Education that.
That must not be on news on the news section with Google.
Maybe not yet, yeah. But it just came out. This Adam Harris, he's been tracking the issue pretty closely, so I trust what he says about it. Especially where the comparisons between the Obama order and the Trump order come in. So that's that. I mean, there was a whole bunch of people who were saying that people shouldn't criticize the leaders of HBCUs because they had not given money, they had not donated money to those HBCUs.
Right.
And people, and this is like not shade at all, because people who I know and whose opinions I respect, I don't know if I can go all the way in with that reasoning, because people don't always have money to throw around.
Right.
And it's especially tough when it's a situation where these spaces exist because these people historically do not have money to throw around. And the need for funding is such that we understand the situation. And so I don't know. I just want to be on record as saying that I think you're allowed to have an opinion if your opinion is informed, even if you have not seen fit to shovel your dollars towards HBCUs. Having said that, if it moves you and you're not too bothered by the fact that they're trying to cozy up to the Trump administration, throw them some dollars.
Here's the way I look at it. I saw some of that. Some people I follow had commentary around this. First TWIB donor, Monica Brooks, who works with her, a part of org with her PWI, has weighed in on it. And I said that I was going to throw shade, and she's like, "It's you understand? Like, it's really hard with these folks." With raising money, and I get that. I'm like, I completely understand that. And the fact is, like, in this picture, that wasn't even what they were planning on doing. Is going in there. They were supposed to be explaining to them the importance of shit like that. So I get that. So I'm just flat out. That's the first part. My concern here. It's not so much concern, but I get what people are saying about the idea of what you have to do for money. Because this is something that we discussed when we were working with the NAACP for a while, which was the fact that there was a situation where there was something that was sponsored by Wells Fargo. I wasn't happy about it either. I thought it was BS, honey. There was a thing where they were sponsored by Wells Fargo, and it was like, really? And my issue with that wasn't so much that they were sponsored by Wells Fargo. My issue was that they didn't even acknowledge the bullshit that has happened with Wells Fargo. Which is why I'm like, if you do this, I will take money. Like name someone problematic, Dara.
Coke.
Cock.
Well, both, but I was.
Name something problematic now. Cock.
Damn it. Koch brothers, man.
The Koch brothers. Okay. If the Kochs wanted to give me money, I'd take that money. Now, please know, I would use that money and invest in explaining how they have way too much power in politics, and that they should be and that we need a better campaign reform and finance reform, all that stuff. I would go in or whatever, but I'd take that money. But I would not go take pictures with them, like, so that it's like, look at this, we're great or whatever. And
but don't you think that is a contingency of receiving the money?
Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes they just want to be able to say,
right?
Sometimes they just want to be able to say they gave you money. It's like, oh well, we've supported A, B, C, D, and E or whatever.
I feel like a lot of times that show of support comes with a necessary photo op.
I mean, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure how well I would do a photo op like that. That's not how I roll. Like, I've had opportunities to get money before, and I got yelled at by some folks because I was like, I can't put my name on that shit. That's not how I work. And that was that. But at the same time, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because it is hard. But at the same time, I have an issue with cheesing with Trump. But at the same time, if they weren't planning, and all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, I need you to go inside with Trump and take this picture," are you all of a sudden going to stop and go like, "Well, no, I'm not going in there"? I would, but I could see in that moment getting like, "What? All right, well, we're going to go up and do that," or because next thing you know, the news story is about you not going inside the room or whatever. And if you don't want that, I get it, and especially if they wanted to get any information about this EO, which I don't know if they did get or not, I might see them doing this. I could see it happening.
I think it turns out that surprise, they did not.
Yeah. So it's problematic, and I mean, but like one of the things I saw, I believe Jamila Lemieux pointed out that if we don't want HBCUs going and having to a handshake with the president, then there needs to be more support for HBCUs because HBCUs have historically low support from from alumni and stuff like that. So that's part of the problem. So I mean, so it's complicated. It's complicated, but at the same time, for me personally, I know that I don't think I could do it unless I take pictures or whatever. Unless, like, literally the picture, in the picture, the next, like, I was going to use that picture in order to raise the profile of the issues that I'm talking about. Like, I would be House of Cards and the shit out of that. So just in case you ever see me do something weird, like, why is Elon at the White House with Trump? Understand, I'm House of Carding some shit. But I would understand. I would have sat there and thought. Dara has been here like when I get opportunities or something like that, and I'll come in the room and I'm like, I'm supposed to go do so and so, and then I just have that look. I don't know if I should do it. And Dara like, well, maybe you should do this thing. Like, I get talked into doing stuff way more than I just want to go do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always a little bit worried and wary about how I can be used or the platform that we've been building and the trust community that we have. I'm always worried about how that could work, and I don't want that ever to be abused. So I'm extra careful. But I also don't run a school that like needs financing now, and like we can have tight times at TWIB, and we just suffer through. But like sometimes you just don't really have all those options. So I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But I do think, but the fact that the education secretary fucking sent out that bullshit letter trying to frame HBCUs as choice, it was just like, you were so fucking clueless. You should be ashamed of yourself. Just real talk. Just sometimes just say nothing. Elon's Law. Hashtag. What else do we have?
Hashtag at the end, just like an old man.
The hash of the Elon's Law tag. Tag hash. It's like corned beef hash, but with tags.
Boy. Tag hash. That sounds like a game, like a Twitter game.
Tag hash.
God, everything's so awful.
You know, I'll bring us to this next one.
Is it good?
It's not.
Oh, well, I can do not good things.
Well, I mean, because I said that we were going to talk about it. I mean, unless you want to prep this. Like,
no, go for it.
All right. So there has been some news within Progressive Spaces that basically taking content like TWIB and shows like this, that a comedian, host of Citizen Radio. He's a comedian. He's been on MHP with me before. I've actually worked with him in the past at one of his Citizen Radio Lives. We've done Laughing Liberally together. Jamie Kilstein left Citizen Radio this past Monday, and afterwards it was revealed by his ex-wife and also partner of the show that he was asked to leave because of allegations about him being manipulative, predatory on women, and that she found it disturbing. She wrote a message on Facebook saying that the things that she had heard she had found disturbing. Some folks, actually, one of the people that apparently were one of his. One of the people that he had that called him out on this was one of the an ex-employee of Citizen Radio, who they might have dated, if I understand the story correctly or whatever. And she called him out. One of the guests called him out, and enough information got around that once Allison finally was able to find out, Allison Kilkenny, his ex-wife and co-host, once they found out what actually happened, she then asked him to leave. But she asked him to mention it on to explain why on the show. He declined that. She asked to put it in the description or whatever. He declined to do that. So then she actually posted this message up. So this brings us to that idea of what happens when your fave fails, right? And why this seems to be, and why this particular trope of the woke progressive who speaks up on issues around women and race, all this other stuff, can then get caught out there like this, because he was he had been very vocal around women's rights, calling out rape culture and all this other stuff, and which got him the ire of a lot of the men's rights folks and asshole comics who want to push misogyny or rape culture type shit or whatever. And so once this came out that he was accused of these things, and multiple women had come out saying that they had these experiences with him, and Allison wrote this thing, they've been crowing the whole time. And it's an interesting conundrum, because the first thing is, this is problematic on so many levels because of the fact that of the trust that he had, referring to himself as male feminist, actively speaking on these things. He had a lot of trust from the community and his community and its audience, and that trust is betrayed. And I saw a lot of women saying that they can't trust men in these environments, and that was really upsetting to me. because as you guys know, we've worked very hard to try to create Twib Nation to be a safe space, like our closed groups and whatever, our closed chats, things like that, in order to be able to make sure that people can ingest this content, they can interact with other people in the audience, and not have to worry about that. And so this trust being lost. Like, Dara, have you experienced this before? Like someone that you looked at as like being like, I guess, quote unquote woke, and all of a sudden you find out they were not, or they might have spoke woke, but they didn't live woke.
I've got such a negative outlook on life. I don't think I've ever actually been disappointed in that way, because I always kind of assume that in some way something about somebody's views is going to be disappointing to me. I've had experiences more so with like old artists, idols, like when I'm like, oh, it's so great, I love James Brown, and then you read stories and you're like, oh my god, he beat the hell out of women. The same thing with like Marvin Gaye, who I grew up, I grew up loving the music. I can't say idolizing because I was like way too self-involved a kid to idolize anybody. But here, like, oh, he married a girl who was 15, maybe? Okay, I guess, but the music's real good. So I think just because of having those experiences in my adult life, I have girded myself against that disappointment when it comes to other people, especially in progressive spaces, because my large experience of progressive spaces is people who are disappointingly myopic. And so that means that if somebody does the right thing, I'm surprised and excited. But when somebody does the wrong thing, I'm kind of like, yeah, well, you know.
So you wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden it was like, apparently Elon James White was out here like just praying, not like praying, but like praying. Like
I would be equally surprised if you were out there praying or praying. But that's because I see you Monday through Thursday. And I've heard stories about how terrible you are.
But maybe that's all game. You don't know. It's not game. I really don't.
I would like to think that. Well, I don't know about that. What? I don't know what I was going to say.
What? You like to think that you would be able to recognize game?
Yeah.
And then you realize that you don't recognize game?
No, I recognize game all the time.
Okay.
Which is why
you know I don't have any. Good. Okay. So
it doesn't happen.
But yeah, this there's so much levels of this, and so to Allison's credit, she asked.
Touch me in the heart. We was at the
information. She asked Jamie to leave the show. She then wrote this note and about what they were doing and why they were doing it. And I respect what they did with that. I think that's important to because a lot of times when people are supposedly quote unquote woke, like someone on the Facebook group, the Twib Nation closed Facebook group, pointed out that when people are supposedly bringing something to the table, they speak out, they do all these things. It's harder for people to call them out about their wrongdoings because they're like people don't want to believe it, people don't want to lose that voice in the fight or whatever, which is why one of the reasons why Bill Maher gets so many goddamn passes, because people like what he says about something, so when he's racist or sexist or whatever, they can let that cook. And so I think that it's when these things happen within our own spaces, being able to call it out and holding people accountable the same way we would want it held accountable if they weren't in our space and they weren't someone that was actively with us is important. I also think it's very important that funny enough, I have not seen a lot of, at least within progressive spaces, questioning of the women's accusations. For the most part, people said they believe the women. Now, the people that are questioning it are the same people that were also basically dancing on the grave of his career because, I mean, from what I've seen, he lost his record deal. He had a record coming out soon. The record company pulled it, said nope, we're not doing it. He had did this song with some musicians. They pulled it from their site or whatever. Not working with him. It was quick and swift. As soon as the stuff hit, and people weren't I have not read that. The people who I see even questioning the women are people who are actually really happy that that Kilstein is basically persona non grata and losing all this shit because he went at them about misogyny and stuff like that. And to those people, I feel like it's important.
Can you explain what you mean by that? That there were people who were targets because they had done something misogynistic,
right?
And now
so they weren't targets. What happened was that they were people who might have been called out by Kilstein in the past about rape culture, about being misogynistic around these types of things, and they're taking great joy. He also was vocal against Gamergate or whatever. So they're taking great joy. I saw on the Gamergate website this whole thing about like, and he's all so anti-Gamergate, and look at him, he's he's some sort of pervert. I keep seeing people say rapist, which I have not seen rape. So I've seen praying, manipulating, using power or whatever. Fine, but not. I haven't seen accusations of rape. So a lot of these folks say, yeah, he's a rapist now. It's like, you don't know that, but you want to say that because you want to shit on Kilstein. And like I said, to people like this, I want to be clear. Kilstein could have fucked up and it's persona non grata and needs to deal with his shit and gets called out it, but you're still an asshole. You don't become magically like fixed and your assholicness, your misogyny, all that bullshit doesn't magically evaporate because you find out that someone who called you out has their own issues or whatever. I know that hypocrisy seems to be the thing that people like to wash themselves out. Like, see, you can't talk shit about me because look at what he did. Like, no, but you're still a dick. You're still a misogynist, and the space, the progressive folks are dealing with Kilstein the way it's needed to be. And the fact is that I still haven't seen any commentary from Kilstein about this, speaking out either saying it's not true or saying that he was working on it or whatever. I think the last thing I saw was that he deleted his Twitter account because on Twitter he's getting it. If you do a quick search on his name, it's just like, whoa, the amount of people that just really didn't like Kim. I mean, please don't. I've had for transparency's sake, I've had clashes with Kilstein in the past, and I sometimes thought he might have been being a douche, but I wasn't holding a lot of this stuff. Because I don't have time for it, and so, but I was still genuinely surprised by this. I just it's something that I'm like, I couldn't have imagined that this, because in honesty, Dara, when I heard the story, my first thing was like, what is his wife going to say? But then I didn't know that he had actually gotten a divorce from his wife last year. So I was like, what? What? Clearly I wasn't paying attention to the everyday goings on of Mr. Kilstein. But yeah, this is, I see a lot of people that were hurt, and that's the thing. I'm looking at the space and starting to look at how that works and how people have lost trust. And funny enough, Dara, you know what I thought as soon as I saw this, I was like, I should just never leave the house. I should just lock myself in a room and just I never want anyone to ever think.
As opposed to what?
I mean, as opposed to the going out once every 8 days.
Okay.
I'm going out tonight, Dara. Maybe. I think we have a babysitter, but that was for if I needed extra work. But I'm going out, Dara. I'm going out tonight. Woo! Ready for tonight. But yeah, I got work because I was the last thing because I think that's one of my issues. So so yes, it's horrible, this thing that he's done, and the women that had to deal with it, terrible, all of it. And then the thing I thought was the amount of people who don't feel safe, who this just feeds right into that idea of people not feeling safe, and they're right to be not trusting of people and to question things and take everyone with a grain of salt when they start yelling, I'm a feminist or whatever, blah blah blah. Have I called myself a feminist, Dara? I don't think I have.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I believe I've said I believe I could be looked at as feminist, but I never call myself feminist. And I think in this situation, I'm really happy I haven't, because I feel like when you proclaim yourself something, that makes it even more people are let down. You can't claim something. You have to people say you do work around this. He does a lot of work around feminism. He supports it. That's one thing. To claim it yourself, I feel it's just like allies who are I'm the least racist person you'll ever meet. Racism? I don't know what that is. I heard about it. one time, way back when. But I, the least racist person, President Donald Trump, everyone. But yeah, like you can't. I feel like you don't label yourself as an ally. You don't label yourself as the good ally, as the feminist, as the anti-racist, all that sort of stuff. I think that's problematic. What do you think, Dara?
I don't know. I don't know if the labeling is the problem, except insofar as it gives fuel to, for instance, people on the right, people who have been maligned by this person, to say something against you or against the movement that you supposedly represent. So maybe in that way it's bad because you don't want to label yourself a representative of a particular movement, because then anything you do to mess up is also going to have a negative impact on that movement that you supposedly support. At the same time, I would not like to shy away from labeling myself as something, or as identifying with a set of beliefs, just because of the impact that it could have down the line if I mess up. I'd rather not mess up.
I would rather not mess up either. And I also, again, so part of it's so it's these things. The other thing that I have issues with, I am constantly thinking about my impact on things. I think about the fact that Twib is a platform at this point, right? Cool, we have a platform. People listen to us. Thousands of people tune in and they download and all that stuff. Whatever, they listen to us. It allows us to be able to weigh in on these things and have a say and stuff. I take that really, really seriously because, I mean, that's a thing. People because anyone it could be anybody. Like I don't look at myself as so magically special. So when the fact that I have a platform, the fact that I can speak out on these things, I feel like I have a responsibility to my audience and the space itself. Because if please know, if all of a sudden you guys found out like I was a scumbag, right? I'm cheating on my wife on a regular basis, not open eyes, but like cheating. I got my like myriad hoes, like just like all over the place, like just like that, and I was that guy. All of a sudden, I had misrepresented myself completely all these years. That wouldn't mean that all of this is fake. Male allies are fake, or it's not possible. But at the same time, I understand that would be a hit. That would be yet another mark on this whole space, and people would feel less safe. And I don't ever want to participate or be part of the reason why people don't feel safe. So doing this, I feel like I have a responsibility. And we talk about certain things because we have that platform. We have a responsibility. And my own life, I have to live a life a certain way. I mean, luckily for me, it's just not, as we've heard, I have no game. I don't do anything. I'm much happier in the house. And my baby makes me giggle. So I'm not out there doing any bullshit, but like if I decided I want to go do some bullshit, I would like like I've had people like do stuff around like I don't even want to be like near you guys doing it. You guys shouldn't do this shit, but I definitely ain't gonna have me around here doing this. Like so that all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, see, this is what they do. Like I'm not. No, I mean, and I know that like artists don't have that responsibility, right? Like we've argued that before, that you can't put your put these responsibilities on artists or whatever, but I feel like the responsibility is on my shoulders. You understand what I'm saying, Dara? Am I making sense?
Yeah, and I mean, yes, I do. That makes sense.
Yeah, because like when you have a platform, and the fact is that Kilstein had a platform. Kilstein was being heard by many. And this is so at that point in my mind was just like, you can't, why would you even do that? That no woman is gonna come out and like, no woman, man, or dog, no one is gonna come out and be like, yeah, Elon, man, whoo, I mean, just praying, just like I don't even know what the hell that was, man, just like it's just not gonna happen. And that's why I can talk so freely and be like, no, that's bullshit, don't do that, fuck you, you're wrong. I can do all that because like I know that my closet is currently clean on that. Could be an asshole for various other reasons, but not these reasons. You know what I mean? And I feel like I have to keep it that way because it's important, because of the work we do. Because the fact is, I mean, there's certain things that I won't even talk about because I don't want the work we do to ever be diminished in certain ways. Now, please, you guys know I talk about a lot of shit, and so like certainly I'm like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna, because I don't want the framing, the narrative to change around that. No. It's the work we do is important. We don't need anything maligning that work. And I think that people need to take that into consideration when they're choosing to do this, because some people decide to work in this because like you guys all know, like I'm a performer. I started out as a stand-up. That's why I knew Jamie in the first place. And the fact is, people think that talking about politics or stuff like that is a fast track to somehow becoming more popular and more relevant, which What is it? I've heard people say that, like, oh yeah, you're talking about black shit because you're just trying to get rich. Because yeah, telling the truth about black shit is exactly how you make money, son. That's how you get them ducats. Ducats. Brent, did you know about how to get these ducats?
I wish I did. I wish I a little more about
it. Exactly. What, Dara?
I understand what you're saying, but I also kind of feel like this is too much on a different topic, so I won't say too much on it. But I do feel like when I do performances or write or whatever it is about things that are not explicitly, this is a black woman's perspective on black things. And it might just be the environment that we live in the Bay Area, but like white people get disappointed. White people like me better when they can experience their white shame in a safe place through my art. And if I'm just like talking about things, they're like, I don't understand. When is she gonna mention that she's black?
Oh, Dar, that literally was my whole start in stand up. I had literally people would come up to me at the end of my set and go like, "Do you know you're black?" Because you know, and it was black and white people who would say it. They're like, "Because you didn't even mention it once up there. Do you know?" I'm like, "Yes, motherfucker, I know." And that's when I doubled down on blackness, and I just kept doubling down. The more people questioned me about it and was acting all surprised and confused, I was like, "Word, all right, let's get really black, blackity black." But yeah, I know that some of our audience actually crosses with Citizen Radio, Dara. Some people have actually gotten here from Citizen Radio, and so I know that like I saw some folks in the Facebook group that was genuinely shocked, and I was shocked by all of this. But I feel like it's a good time to have a conversation about holding those accountable within our space. It's not about eating each other alive, because I saw some people saying that the left loves to eat themselves alive. I'm like, no, it's called we don't deal with bullshit. While you guys while the right is fucking sitting there covering up for Russian ties for Trump, we will sit there. We see some shit like, no, that's not okay. No, that's unacceptable. And I mean, please note, there are various times when we don't do that, and black women have normally bear the brunt of that when they call out issues, and people go like, yeah, and then all of a sudden you have to wait 2-3 years, and magically they're gonna be like, oh, these black women were right. Isn't that what happened with Hugo Schweitzer? What's his name? You remember him?
Nope.
No. Yeah, that's these type of things have occurred. And actually, the phone lines are in fact open. I keep forgetting to say that throughout the show. If you want to weigh in on any of these things, 718-404-9320. The number again is 718-404-9320. But holding folks accountable, it's important. And also, when you enter in these spaces and you're doing this work, it's important to look at yourself and look at the type of person you are, the type, like, and because the thing is that like everyone has flaws, though. Like you said that earlier, like that's why you're not surprised so much when people do certain things, because they like everyone has some issues, and that's fine. But just because you have issues, you should understand your issues. You should come to have that come to Jesus moment before you start going out there and yelling stuff, and when you can be a detriment to the movement itself by you being a fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a responsibility. Once you decide, because the thing is, like, I volunteered to be a part of this movement. So I can't go over. I feel like it's my responsibility to not fuck up like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, I think that takes a level of self-awareness that a lot of people do not possess. So I wouldn't even say, I wouldn't say there's malicious intent where somebody's like, I'm going to take it part in all this nefarious things. And then therefore the movement that I profess to be a part of is going to be maligned. It's just like, oh yeah, I believe those things, but like also that stuff doesn't apply to me and nobody's ever going to find out and whatever. It's not a big deal.
I believe we have a phone call. Is a phone line open, Brent?
The phone line.
I'll check. Brent's like, what you talking about? Yes, the line's open, Brent. I like that, Brent. I ain't messing with Brent. Twit Prime, who is this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Joe from Charlotte. How are y'all doing tonight?
What's going on, sir? What do you have to say about all this?
I really just wanted to step in and say that just speaking of your platform, I think just you guys have done a Twib Nation, Twib, the show, everything has done a great job, and I really appreciate the space that you've created. I remember, I think, and speaking of Bill Maher, I think I really think he's a total dickhead now, and it's mainly because I used to be a huge Bill Maher fan, and then just listening to Twib and the perspectives there really helped me come to see that I learn how to center myself on other points of view and really see some of the problematic things on the progressive space when it comes to race. So the show has done a great job there, and I wanted to let you know that. And
excellent.
I remember back in 2013, you guys, or not you, I think there was some segment that you talked about where some well-intentioned white politician said something problematic, and somebody on the show said, that guy needed a Jamal. And so I don't feel, I feel like the show Twib is kind of like my Jamal. And I really feel like it has helped me be able to become centered not only on better center myself on the point of view of black people, but trans people, LGBT people, women. And so this is just a great space, and that's all I want to say. And I can take the rest off air.
Oh, well, thank you very much, sir. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right.
Indeed. Shout out to the chat room. They'll cut you. I don't think he gave a shout out to the chat room. Uh-oh. He hung up. That's my fault. I didn't do it.
You better hop in that chat room right now and apologize.
Say hi, say something to him. But I appreciate what he's saying there. And funny enough, someone else brought up Jamal to me today on Twitter because there's some service where writers are having people read their books to tell them if they're being racist before they put the book out. And someone's like, hey, doesn't this sound like a Jamal? Doesn't it sound? I'm like, yes, literally, that is exactly Jamal. Yes. And for those of you who are newer, because Jamal is old school Twib, the idea of a Jamal was simply someone who would be in rooms where shit was being discussed that is clearly problematic and should not happen. And like literally, I remember. I think one of the examples was when Nike came out with those sneakers that had chains on them, so it would chain to your ankle on the sneaker. And so, yeah. These sneakers that are going to be bought primarily by black dudes, they're going to have chains connected to... No. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, where was the Jamal on that? Because like literally they should be like, okay, hey guys, I have an idea. We're gonna make shoes. We're gonna make these hot sneakers, right? But they're gonna have chains on them, and they're gonna chain to your foot, to your ankle. So it's like, look, I got these chains because my sneakers so hot. I chained them to my ankle. Hey Jamal, what do you think about that? That's stupid as fuck, son. What about slavery? You're right. So let's not do that. And that is Jamal's thing. He's just in the room, just going, nope, don't do that. That's ridiculous. Here's why. And he just and that's it. He walks away. And Jamal could be anybody. Jamal is not a dude. Jamal is a title, like PhD or MD. Like Dara could be Dara and without the dot Wilson. Jamal. that's it. She can come in, and actually you can hire Dara to do that. She will be
hire me to do things.
Yeah, she would.
You have ideas about stuff, and And I always have opinions on those ideas. And I always have ways to make those things better. I have expertise about a lot of stuff.
So
Let me be your Jamal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally about to start the Jamal Institute as like a side hustle, as a consulting firm. We're just going just like, no. No, please don't. Let's not. Why don't we not?
I literally was the Jamal.
What at Google?
And at the place I used to work.
Oh, you said it before.
You've said it before.
You said it too. I swear to God. That's the only reason why I said it, because you said it.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that place that gives you results.
Come on now.
Okay.
Where there were, and I don't want to. I mean, I don't go into too much detail. But there were definitely instances where things were happening, and all I could foresee was the tweets and Facebook posts and news articles that said things like, "Oh, you could tell ain't no black people working in that place because they did X, Y, Z." And I take a deep breath and I'm like, okay, I guess I've got to spend some of my professional clout on this and hope that there is no backlash, because, you know, some people get to just go to work and do their jobs. And some people go to work, do their jobs, and try to make sure that the entire company doesn't do something that's massively racist.
Dara, you know that literally was my job just recently with an org.
I do know that.
Okay, it was at Netroots. What?
Because you had the inkling in your head, like, maybe I just don't say it. Maybe I just don't say that thing. And then you were like, no, I want to burn it.
I'm not burning it. I'm not burning it. Like, I'm like, what? Like, first of all, I don't even know if we're with Netroots this year. And secondly, am I lying? am I slandering them or anything like that? I'm not doing anything like rude. It was genuinely, literally part of my job. Where I was just suddenly going like, can we not do this? Can we not do that thing? So you know that thing over there? Let's not. Dara, have you been in the room when I had to Jamal? Like actively Jamal?
Of course not. I couldn't stay here for I can't take that. I can't take the tension.
Yeah, and there was some tension.
Somebody in the YouTube chat room, and then after this, I do want to hit one more story. Said, I believe it's Gory.
Mm-hmm.
Companies need a Jamila more than a Jamal. And you know what? Even though you say Jamal is not a gendered role, I think maybe it should be gendered, and it should be a Jamila, because I think you would get more out of a Jamila than you would out of a Jamal. What do you think, Elon?
I like that you're going to throw it at me like, say some shit now. I believe that the Jamilas are, and I mean, well, like I said, like the idea, like I for me, I didn't think about it like in that way. Like as we were as the gag was being built, it was like oh, and clearly this is not just a thing, because like there are needs for this across the board and with women. So like Jamila, yeah, that's fine, but I also don't think that like a Jamal would be useless, whatever. But I do believe Jamilas are important. I mean, that's why I said that it was a title, not a person, and that it should be everybody. Yeah, go do it. And there's a lot of times that where specifically a woman's voice is necessary, so that people don't do some dumb shit that they don't, and they be like, "What? I didn't know. Well, how is that sexist? We just made an ad campaign that was talking about making sandwiches, and we just happened to ask our girlfriends to make some sandwiches. What? And she loved us. Why wouldn't you make us a sandwich?" And you just said, no.
Oh yeah, somebody did say that.
No.
What's his name?
You mean when that when
Falcon?
He did. Oh yeah, Falcon. All right.
If I go out and I mow the lawn, when I come inside, you need to make Daddy a sandwich. That's what that asshole said.
If I said that to my wife.
First, like, we're not even going to get into the infantilism of the daddy thing, because I know people have other opinions, and I know it shows up in different ways, and it's not associated with those. But in that situation, I don't like it.
Emily hates it.
It's not for me.
No, please no. It's not like I was sitting there going like, "Hey, call me daddy," but like I've made a joke in passing, and she's just like, "No."
Never.
And I'm just
say
like,
that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was just kidding. I was like, yeah, that's right. That's how Daddy do things. They're like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Phone lines are still open. 718-404-9320. The number again is 718-404-9320. Dara, you said were you done with that thought, or do you want to add more, or do you want to go to your next story?
I'll go to the story. It's fine.
Sure.
Yep.
You need to weigh in. If you need to say some shit, Dara. Say some shit, Dara.
Since when do I need your permission to say things?
I wasn't saying.
I'm saying you don't have to worry about me.
Okay.
If I have things to say, I'm gonna say it. Okay. So there was an act introduced on Monday by a Texas senator. I'm not going to say things.
You can say things.
Yeah.
You going to slander Texas?
Yes.
Okay, no, don't do that.
That's why I didn't.
Good. Okay, good.
Senator John Cornyn introduced the Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act.
Don't want this. What's next on the docket? Well, I'm sorry.
This is what we're doing. This is happening. This act would require that states that have differing gun laws recognize permits from law-abiding citizens in other states. So this is essentially, I mean, I don't want to draw comparisons to Dred Scott, but this is essentially, if I have a concealed carry license in my state, just because I go to another state where they know that those licenses and the advent of them are associated with an increase in shootings, doesn't mean that I shouldn't be able to take part in my constitutional right to endanger other people. Because, this is the party of states' rights, Elon.
I'm not doing this.
Isn't that their whole thing? States' rights. Except.
What's their thing? Well, who knows what their thing is?
Their professed things.
Their thing is their thing right up until it's not their thing. I remember when, being religious was their thing. And then they elected a 3-time divorce pussy grabbing sexual assaulter,
but they still think he's
with
a Christian.
Large evangelical backings. I don't know what their thing is anymore, Dara. So the idea is so in Texas you'd be able to have your gun even if you weren't licensed in Texas.
No. The idea is more that if I have a state, if my state says we outlaw concealed carry, then if my home state issued me a license for concealed carry, I should be able to conceal carry no matter what the laws of the land are in the state that I go to. You
can't do that. You don't have the power. That's not literally. That's why.
Well, you can't do it now, which is why he's putting forth this act.
He could put forth the act, but is the act? I mean, he's putting in Congress or the local Texas legislature.
No, this is in Congress.
I mean, no.
This is Senate's number 2 Republican, Maine.
No. I like the idea of not knowing what's the odds of someone having a gun. I like having a.
This is the entire states' rights argument that you should be able to go to a place where you can have impact on local legislature. Therefore, shape your community to be the place that you want it to be, right? Because these are the same people who are saying we need to. Davros wants to get rid of free lunches. Nobody wants a free lunch. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Or the marijuana laws that
Sessions.
All of a sudden they have to be enforced at a federal level.
Did you see what Sessions said? Sessions said that we have to bring law and order and start locking up some men. After I don't know if we've said this on the docket that Sessions rescinded the Obama era ruling of not using private prisons.
Yeah,
and then Sessions was like, "Nah, we need those." And then he wrote in a memo, was like, "Yeah, lock some people up, lock some men up." and enforcing laws, and nobody smokes any marijuana. Nobody or something like that. Nobody does anything good. Nobody good smokes marijuana. Yes, I. So I'm not watching the Orange Demon tonight. Why am I watching?
Isn't it happening right now?
No. Oh, it might be.
No, it's at 9.
Oh yeah. Eastern, I thought it was later. So yeah, no. In theory, I should be out.
It's starting in 9 minutes.
In theory, I should be out eating some steak. That's what I'm gonna go do. My wife is going out to a place that has a steak, and I want a steak. And I got a babysitter. We leave this ball of brat right here. Even though she's so cute right now.
Don't wake her.
I'm not waking her.
Don't kiss her too hard.
It was you yelling earlier that was waking her up.
No.
Yes.
No.
And notice that when I'm talking, she is good.
You were yelling too and saying all kinds of ass fuck. That was a fake yell. Anyway.
Notice no moving. Notice that she doesn't move. You know why? Because she understands Daddy's voice.
Mm-hmm. She understands my voice too.
I said Daddy in the correct sense there. I was actually her daddy.
Do we have time for one more?
Yes, you have time for one more.
Okay, and we're not gonna get to the lady rapper beef.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not okay. You know, maybe we don't want this. Maybe I don't want one. Okay. See, you just want you can't say. Can we do one more story? I go okay, and then you go. All right.
I'm just trying
you have to power up for it. Nope, I'm taking a phone call. Too late now. You fucked up.
I'm powering down for it. We really should hit it.
Twib Prime. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
This is Metal. This is Metal Swift from Birmingham, Alabama.
What's going on, sir? What do you got to say about all this?
Going back to when you was talking about the whole protecting your image and stuff and doing a great job of that. I want to say you have. It's like I started watching y'all like in 2013, and you know, there's been nothing odd or anything like that. You know, just anything that would, you know, just taint what you're doing or anything like that. And
for you,
I don't know what kind of
there were some folks at one point that came from my head.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not gonna even get into like both generations of the White House show, but
what are you talking about? I don't know what you're even talking about. What's that?
But I mean, like even the people you surround yourself with, it's like, excuse me.
No, continue, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Even the people you surround yourself with, you know, it's like, I don't know what the vetting process is within Twib. I mean, even though y'all just found out like 3 weeks ago that Brent had like blew up a Burger King and had adventures of a Western Pope level and stuff. You do great. You run a great ship. You have a lot of great people around you and stuff, and like, I don't know if I could pass that vetting process, but you got a lot of great people around you and stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, we try, and thank you for that. I mean, the fact is, when we do bring people in, really, are you gonna pull my earphone out my ear so I can't hear the person on the phone? We try our best to get people that well, it's not even so much about like a vetting. It's like people with voices that we want people to hear and understand. Did you see this? She woke up and just growled and then tried to take my earphone.
Yeah, I don't know about that vetting process.
I mean, Dara got in. So I'm kidding. Calm down. We're happy for you, Dara. What?
It's so condescending.
That's how I wasn't being. I'm genuinely happy for you. See, this is why, because everyone's so quick to tell me to go fuck myself. This is
I didn't say that.
This is how we keep shit real up in Twib Nation, Metal Swift. You just have to surround yourself with people who are all willing to tell, including your daughter, to tell you to go fuck yourself. That's how you do it.
That's all I do when I'm babysitting Sid. I'm just like, Go ahead and tell him if you want to tell him.
I believe you.
It's all right.
I believe you. But but like I said, like it depends. Like some people will see things negatively around like various things, or like they might not like your humor or anything like that. But the one thing that I always wanted for this for Twib, I mean, besides having community, which I was, like I said, there used to be a podcast I used to listen to, and I was a guest on when I was first starting comedy, called Keith and the Girl. And a lot of you guys might be familiar with Keith and the Girl. And I remember being so jealous of their community while watching it. It was just like, I don't even understand how this is a thing. Like this community is so great around the show. And then now Twib has a great community. I'm really happy for it. But at the same time, I'm very aware of the safety that's needed for the community to be able to be safe and to grow. And I also do not want to be the thing that brings down Twib. You know what I mean? Like it won't be me. Like I mean, or if it's me, it's gonna be me doing something like ridiculous. Like I don't know, like I cussed somebody out one too many times, and then all of a sudden we lost internet.
Yeah, I mean, if you built it, you should be the one who takes it out. But yeah.
No, I don't want to take it out. I in a perfect world, Twib will outlive me. And that's what I hope. And I mean, that's why I have an heir to the demon. She hopefully one day she'll be around. And she'll do some stuff. I look forward to it. Sweetheart, you want to run the show, right? No, don't eat my headphones. No. Okay. Yeah, apparently she does. Okay. But thank you so much, sir.
All right. Shout out to the chat room.
Indeed, smart. See, he understands. All right, hit me with this news story.
This is about the rise of anti-Semitism and Agent Orange's response to it.
Sorry, and I want to be clear about why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because anti-Semitism is hilarious. I'm laughing because of what Dara's about to say. The Orange Demon said, because I still don't understand how the fuck he decided he formed these words, got his mouth to form these words. Like it's madness. But tell them why you mad, Dara.
These statements come after countless threats against various places of Jewish organization in patronage, I don't know, synagogues, etc. Specifically, there have been now 2 in the month of February attacks in Jewish cemeteries in Philadelphia, where people are toppling over headstones, hundreds of headstones. Oh gosh, I really am upset. In these cemeteries, and Agent Orange has suggested that it's not actually anti-Semitism that is at the root of these threats and attacks, but that it might be his opposition just trying to, quote, make people look bad.
Well, I wouldn't frame it that way. The way I mean, and maybe we just read it differently, and I'm willing to take a pushback on that. The way I read it was like he because he had said that it was bad, right? Like it's despicable, something like that. But he said like a couple times he was like, yeah, it's terrible, whatever. But sometimes it's the reverse. But like, and apparently he said like, but sometimes it's like the reverse 3 times. And he said, like people that want you to think think other people's other stuff is happening like this, and but it's really bad. And so it was. I feel like it wasn't as clear cut as like he just said that all the anti-Semitic attacks were just all false flags, but he did put the seed down that listen, sometimes people do stuff, and it's not exactly, it's the reverse. It's because that's what he said. He didn't say that they were his opposite. He said sometimes it's the reverse. Sometimes the reverse.
The extended quote is, and you've got to be careful. It could be the reverse. This could be the reverse, trying to make people look bad.
Right.
He did say that.
Trying to make people look bad. Right. But he didn't say necessarily.
And this is not the first time that he has suggested that opposition to him is actually planted by his opponents, because he's also started to use Obama as an excuse, saying that Obama is organizing all the protests against him.
Because Obama
in the middle of windsurfing and having dinner with his daughter,
not to be funny,
and looking fly as hell.
Like, he got younger after he left the presidency. I don't know what happened. Like, he went and got like a cocoa butter infusion.
He took off the tie and was like,
right.
How you like me now?
And he's cut. Like, I don't know what he was doing in the last 6 months of the White House, but apparently it includes a exercise regimen that was like killing. Like, but Michelle was like,
couch to 5K.
Michelle was like, listen, you gonna work out because you're about to not be president, and if I gotta look at you more, you gonna work out. And then he worked the hell out. He got all of a sudden, like, there was a picture of him like on a board, and he just cut up. When I was like, why is the president cut the fuck up? Like, what is this? And he also has injection of melanin. Like I feel like he captured like 10 black people and then put them all like in like blood transfusions, and he just sat there like, oh yeah, and he came back and he came out super black. He was giving everyone daps, and it was great. It was awesome. He started rapping when he came out of it.
Yeah, the other reason that
that he was rapping.
No. The other reason that I feel confident is because, as we know, he takes much of his positions on things from what
TV.
he sees on TV and on Twitter from people who he trusts.
But he doesn't actually understand what the fuck it says, i.e. the debt and stuff like that.
Exactly. Or he's equally wrong about those things. This is from one of his advisors, Anthony Scaramucci, who tweeted just earlier today, "It's not yet clear who the JCC offenders are. Don't forget Democrats' efforts to incite violence at Trump rallies," which is another unsubstantiated claim.
Well, no, I can tell you what. It's not quite unsubstantiated. What they're talking about is any protests that are ever put together. That's inciting violence, just like
If you're talking specifically about inciting violence, though, it's not referring to an entire protest, which is why I say the claim is unsubstantiated. Because
no,
it's
but that's
not
what they mean.
True.
It's not true. They don't understand what organizing
means. That's what
means.
Unsubstantiated. That's what I mean. It's not true. They know what Elon. They're not stupid. All of them.
I mean, like
all of them.
Okay.
They know what organizing is. They are intentionally, as they did during Obama's first run for the presidency, trying to make organizing a bad word. The same thing they did with liberal and progressive, trying to make those things bad words. They know what they're doing. I have said this time and time again. If you want a marketing campaign, get a Republican on it, because they know how to frame, they know how to reword things, they know how to make it stick. But it doesn't mean that it's right or correct.
Well, it's
and it doesn't mean that it's without intention, which is my point here.
I think we talked about it on the show before. I mentioned the idea that after doing media training, like when they point out like how conservative arguments work and how liberal arguments work, and conservative arguments are always more concise, more emotion based, and like direct. So like when you think Republicans, what are the first three things you would think of, which has been like their thing?
States' rights, cut social programs.
That's I mean, yes, those things are. You're right on those things, but
Christianity.
Right, basically,
not really though.
To boil it down, it normally comes down to guns got religion, guns gays religion, guns got gays religion. No, guns gays religion. Like they're anti-gay, pro guns, pro religion. And they always go with emotion, whereas liberals, we argue from the sense of like, oh, here are these facts and numbers that will show you, statistically speaking, that these things are all correct, blah 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 blah, and people are just like too many words. You got it, and so you're taught literally to try to like cut through all of that and actually make the emotional argument from the left side, because that's what works in the mainstream USA, which is annoying as fuck. Because I like facts. You like facts, Dara. We're pro facts and shit. FY Brent.
Yes, sir.
That's the name of today's episode.
Facts and shit.
Pro facts and shit.
Oh, excuse me. Pro facts and shit.
Thank you, Dara.
What was the question?
I don't remember.
It's It's that time. That's why.
Okay, it is that time, and apparently, and the president's probably walking that aisle down the thing. I remember when we used to care about this.
Well, because it's not a State of the Union.
But it's because you can't do a State of the Union yet, but it's still a thing. But at the same time, I just don't know. I mean, I might turn around just because I feel like my like, I have like hate bubbling in my chest, and I'm like, fuck that, I'm not looking at that. But at the same time, I'm like, I should look at that. I need to know what he's gonna say. I need to know but I'm gonna be mad. But hopefully, like I think I forgot the time difference or whatever. I can actually watch this, be very angry, and still go out and eat my steak and drink myself into tears afterwards. Dara.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna.
I don't know. You're smart.
Catch that.
Yeah, no, you're wise. You're wise. I'm not. I believe you. I believe in you. You're right. But I'm a ridiculous person. All right. Dara, have we been sufficiently black?
Google thinks I ordered something called the State of the Union. Like I Googled it and it was like recent purchases, the State of the Union. You a damn lie. Yeah, I'm black.
Well, I mean, clearly. That was some black shit. You're just yelling at the goddamn internet about how, like, what do you mean I bought something? I didn't buy no damn something. Y'all better stay out my business. Okay, I'm just going to accept that. Brent, have we been sufficiently black?
Oh, yes, sir.
That was the saddest yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that was even worse. Sid, have we been sufficiently black?
She just can't stop looking at me.
Oh, she was stop waving at Dara. Leave the baby alone. Stop bothering. I'm trying to get her to say you're fucking with me. I'm trying to get my baby to give her first. Have we been sufficiently black? City babe. Hi. Have we been sufficiently black? You're just gonna touch the microphone? That's fine. Thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll be back here, same black time, same black channel. I may or may not have a child with me. We'll see what happens. Have a pleasant evening.
What? I ain't even say anything yet. Hey, they say the blacker the berry, you know the sweeter the juice. Time for this weekend blackness, so everybody get loose. Smell like something on fire, ayo, I think it's the roof. Smell like something on fire, ayo, I think it's the roof. It's like black steel, black soul, black pain, black power, black people. Can you lend an ear for a couple hours? I don't make it rain. I don't care about your chain. This weekend blackness, we'll